Namaste, welcome. This is Lighthouse Yoga Evanston, Lighthouse Yoga Tarot and Astrology. My name is Thomas. This is a reading from the classic guide by Paul Foster Case, The Tarot, A Key to the Wisdom of the Ages. Key 18, The Moon, Qoph, spelled Qoph, Qoph. Q, value 100, means back of the head. This is the part of the skull which contains the cerebellum and the medulla oblongata. These parts of the brain are related to the functions of human personality, which man shares with the rest of the animal kingdom. The medulla, in particular, governs some of the most important bodily activities. The cells of this organ remain awake when the rest of the brain is asleep. Head, moreover, means chief, in Hebrew as in English. And in the sequence of the Hebrew alphabet, the letter Qoph, back of the head, precedes the letter Resh, which means head or countenance. Thus, in the series of letters, Qoph is actually behind or back of Resh, the head. Qoph, therefore, represents what comes before the dominion and rulership of which the word head is a symbol. This is true also of the occult meanings of Qoph, which relate to states of consciousness anterior to perfect control and leading thereto. Sleep is the function assigned to Qoph. Sleep is the period of physiological repair, during which the cells of the body undergo subtle changes, which make the advancing student of occultism ready to experience and understand facts and phenomena concealed from ordinary men. These facts are the experiential basis of ageless wisdom. The word translated sleep is from the Book of Formation. It is a technical term in Rabbinical Hebrew, spelt Shinh, and having the value 365. Furthermore, by transposition of letters, it may be read Heshin or Hashin, the tooth. Thus it is a word whose number, like the Greek abraxas, which also adds to 365, may be a mystery number, a mystery term relating to the number of days and to the number of eons ruling the year. It also hints at a correspondence to the holy letter Shin. South below, the direction attributed to Qoph corresponds to the lower line on the southern face of the cube of space. This line connects the lower end of the line southwest to the lower end of the line southeast. It is the line of junction between the southern face of the cube, key 19, and the lower face, key 2. One suggestion is that the solar radiance is reflected by subconsciousness in the process anterior to complete control. The directive action of cosmic tendencies is reflected into the personal sphere of action by the agency of subconscious states. Up to a certain point, the cosmic life power molds its vehicles without their cooperation. Later, those vehicles become aware of what is going on and share consciously in the work. Pisces, the fishes, a mutable, watery sign, is attributed to the letter Qoph. It is ruled by Jupiter, key 10, and by Neptune, key 12. Consideration of the tarot keys here indicated will make the meaning clearer. The process we are now learning about are the direct outcome of the wheels within wheels, of the interlocking cycles and rotations of cosmic activities. At the same time, there is a point in human evolution, represented by the hanged man, at which we become aware of the fact that personality is only an instrument or channel for the universal forces active in the great work. This awareness is also part of the developmental process represented by the symbolism of Key 18. It is also related to the sign Pisces because that sign governs the feet of man, and because feet are the path makers, Pisces relates to the way of which the beginning is found when meditation reveals the star of the soul. Venus is said to be exalted in Pisces. That is to say, what the Empress symbolizes reaches its highest expression in this sign, and therefore, in the process, occultly corresponding to it. Thus, we may expect to find that imagination plays an important part in the activities now under consideration. The color corresponding to Pisces is violet red. The musical tone is B natural. Corporeal intelligence means body consciousness. That is, the aggregate intelligence of the cells of the body. The root of the word translated corporeal is a Hebrew verb meaning to reign upon. And we shall find an indication of this in the symbolism of Key 18. The number 18 is 9 by reduction. The hermit is the goal of the path shown in this picture. With him we are united, according to occult teaching, whenever we experience dreamless sleep. Profound sleep is the state in which personal consciousness is perfectly joined to the real I am. The moon symbolizes the reflected light of subconsciousness. The drops of light falling from it correspond to the implication that corporeal is related to rain. They are 18 Hebrew yods, corresponding to the number of the key. In the rider pack, the number is 15, which somewhat confuses the symbolism. The number 18 is the value of the Hebrew noun chai, signifying life. Thus, the falling yods refer to the descent of the life force from above into the conditions of corporeal existence. The pool below is the same as that shown in the 14th and 17th keys. It is the great deep of cosmic mind stuff, out of which emerges the dry land of physical manifestation. From it, all organic life proceeds. The pool also refers to the 9th of the Kabbalistic Sephirot, Yesod, which is known as the sphere of the moon, and is the seat of the vital soul, manifested in man as the automatic consciousness, generally referred to in this book as subconsciousness. The shellfish climbing from the pool is a symbol of the early stages of conscious unfoldment. In these first developments of consciousness, the individual seems to be isolated from the rest of nature. In a certain aspect of tarot related to Egyptian occult doctrines, the shellfish symbolizes the god Khepra. The path rising and falling has been worn by the feet, Pisces, of those who have traveled this way before. It passes between two animals of the same genus, both canine. One, a wolf, remains what nature made him. The other, a dog, is a product of human adaptation. Thus, the path passes between the extremes of nature and art. At its very beginning, where it rises from the margin of the pool, the path is bordered by stones and plants, symbols of the mineral and vegetable kingdoms. Then it progresses to the point where wolf and dog are shown as the symbols of the animal kingdom. In the foreground, it traverses a cultivated field, which symbolizes matters of more or less general knowledge, until it comes to two towers, which mark the boundaries of the known. Then it continues into the beyond, rising and falling through blue distances, which represent the planes of consciousness open to us during sleep or trance. The towers are the handiwork of man. In our version, they have battlements. This is because they represent the mental attitude of the average man who conceives himself to be surrounded by a hostile environment against which he must fight and from which he must protect himself. Thus, the towers correspond to the mental states symbolized by the hard carapace of the shellfish. The path rises and falls, suggesting periodicity, wave motion, vibration. Yet it continually ascends, so that, as one progresses, the time comes when his most depressed states of consciousness are at a higher level than some of his earlier exaltations. Key 18 represents the fourth stage of spiritual unfoldment, wherein the knowledge gained by meditation is incorporated into the bodily organism. It is the stage of body building, of organization in accordance with subconscious mental patterns. In the tableau of major trumps, given at the beginning of this outline, you will find key 18 at the bottom of a row of 3 pictures. At the top is the emperor, because reason is the mental tool by which we prepare for right action. In the middle is justice, representing the law of poised activity, because only by action may we make any progress. At the bottom is the moon, representing the actual organization of the body cells. Without organism, there can be neither function nor faculty. The unfoldment of our latent powers is made possible by physiological changes in these bodies of flesh and blood. Thus it is written, "Flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of God." Because the changes we speak of are not transmissible from generation to generation. Nature gives us the wild body. Art must perfect it. Yet a flesh and blood body is the necessary vehicle for mastery as expressed here on the physical plane. And though it cannot inherit or transmit the powers of adeptship, it can become a vehicle for those powers when it is rightly organized by adaptive methods. Thank you so much for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.